It is truly humbling to stand on this hallowed ground with leaders, with inspirations, with icons in San Francisco and the national civil rights movement, fighters, judges, supervisors, survivors of violent crime, people who have organized and dedicated their lives to making this city, this country, this world more inclusive, more equitable, more just, and more fair. We know today, as we know every day, how much more work we have to do. We are all reeling from the horrific violence in Texas, one of nearly a dozen mass shootings across this country in the last several months. We have work to do, let's be clear. We have work to do to make our communities safer, to prevent violence, to be more effective at healing those who have been harmed by violence. We have work to do, and we can only do that work if we are united. If we work together, if we stand together as we are doing here today. We have representatives of so many of our diverse communities, leaders from all across this city with different backgrounds and faiths and language groups. It is that unity. It is that solidarity. It is that camaraderie that makes San Francisco great, that will lead us forward and not backwards. But we have work to do. We are facing headwinds as a country, as a democracy, and yes, as a city. We are facing headwinds that are coming directly from the playbook of Donald Trump and his conservative allies on the national scale. The rise in anti-Asian violence. We heard Henry talk about it. We heard Judge Tang talk about it. The rhetoric that inspired white supremacy. It's not new. Martin Luther King stood here because of white supremacy, because of his fight, as old as this country, against white supremacy. And that fight is alive and well today. We have work to do, San Francisco, and we must do it together. The conservative playbook is not unique to San Francisco, but we are seeing it alive and well here. We are seeing it with all of its billionaire funding, with its Republican Party backing, with the lies, the dishonesty in every single piece of literature or TV ad that they put out there. Every single one has lies in it, distortion, manipulations. This is not a recall campaign interested in safety or in truth or in justice or in solutions. It's interested in division, in fear, in spreading hate, in undermining policies grounded in eradicating centuries of racial justice, policies grounded in evidence that make our communities safer, that prevent future crime, and that free up resources desperately needed to help heal those who've been harmed by crime, and all too often treated as nothing more than a piece of evidence. We have work to do. The system I took over in January of 2020 was not working for anybody. It was not working for San Franciscans. It was not working anywhere in this country. And we knew that it would take years. And we knew that there would be setbacks. And we knew that we would face resistance. But nobody could have predicted the global pandemic. Nobody could have predicted the horrific extremes that conservatives, egged on by Donald Trump, would go to. And nobody could have predicted that folks dedicated to tearing down the work of career public servants in the district attorney's office and misleading our voters. Nobody could have predicted that they would spend more than $6 million, not to advance solutions, not to support a candidate that they think can do this job better, but simply to attack and tear down the coalition that stands with me today, the work that we are doing as a city, as a group. People dedicated. Not to me. Many of these folks standing behind me today were not with me in 2019, but they're with me today because they see the lies and the dishonesty and the destruction that this recall is causing, and because they see the work that I and my office are doing to support victims, to hold people who commit crimes accountable, and to do it in ways that are consistent with our values as a people and as a city. We need unity. We need to stand together, and we need to continue the long march to freedom. The long march to a society where everybody is free and safe in their home, in their neighborhood, and everywhere in our great city of St. Francis. We have work to do, and we can only do that work together. So today, we stand here to reject the Republican-funded, Republican-endorsed recall. We stand here thankful of our host, Dr. Reverend Brown. We stand here thankful of the leadership of our retired judges from our Superior Court, thankful of the support from our retired supervisor, Sandra Fior, from our civil rights leaders like Henry Durr. We stand here thankful that we have Rico Hamilton, a survivor of a horrific violent shooting, who by the grace of God is still with us, still standing strong, who has personally benefited from the services that my office provides to anybody who is a victim of crime, even in the 92% of reported crimes in San Francisco that never resulted in arrest for us to prosecute. It is critical. It is essential. It is life-saving work. We must treat every single member of our community with dignity, with respect. We must help them heal and move forward in ways that are consistent with who we are as a people and with who we aspire to be, the people that we know we can be, that Dr. King stood here and demanded and pushed us to become. We have work to do, and I'm proud to stand in unity with so many inspirations and allies. I'm proud to stand here today and ask San Franciscans to reject the dishonesty and the fear-mongering and to stand with us in unity. Vote no on Proposition H. Thank you.
Yeah.